Everyone, I'm Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We're starting a new series. It is a spin-off of Mystery Mystic Mondays. This is Mystery Mystic Musings. This is a series that delves into new cases, new mysterious disappearance, or mysterious death cases that have come up very recently, okay? So that's what we're doing. This is the first episode of this spin-off series. Of course, we still have Mystery Mystic Mondays that will be playing on Mondays, and we will, on that series, be exploring cold cases or cases that are not necessarily cold, but maybe new to me, but not new to the world, right? Or we'll be revisiting cases that we've explored either under Mystery Mystic Mondays or Mystery Mystic Musings. So I want to thank you for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Ariana Taylor. She's a 23-year-old mother and resident of Gary, Indiana, and she has disappeared. I was actually made aware. I had heard about her name, like it kept popping up on my news feeds, but I didn't pay much attention. And then my friend, Indigo Key Oracle, said, hey, you got to check out my video on Ariana Taylor's case. So I was starting to watch her video last night. I was falling asleep. I was exhausted, actually. So I fell asleep just as she was starting. And then I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, that happened for a reason. Let me consult with Spirit to see if this is one I should do for the channel. So I got confirmation from my Spirit team that this is one to explore. So I am. So what I'm going to do is record this video, and then I'm going to go back and watch Indigo Key Oracle's reading, because she was like, you need to check this out. And I definitely want to finish watching it. So I'll also link her video in the description box and also the pinned comment section of the video, so you all could check that out as well. Because we want to raise awareness about Ariana. She just disappeared. She just vanished. Basically, it sounds like she was out partying with some friends, I'm assuming. I don't know all the details. Her friends dropped her off at her mom or her parents' house, right? I don't know if it was just her mom's, her parents' house. And then she insisted on going back out in her car. Next thing you know, a witness had called in to the Indiana State Police reporting that they saw a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, 80 miles per hour, no brakes, careened off into a ravine about 1,000 yards away from the highway. And it did not appear that this vehicle braked. When the police examined this vehicle, they found that it was heavily damaged, but it wasn't so damaged that it would lead them to believe that someone would have died or been seriously injured in that accident. Okay. All four tires were flattened, and she's been nowhere to be found. Like, they have done ground searches, water searches, just air searches. People have been looking for her, regular folks looking for her, police looking for her, and they have not been able to find her. Also, what I saw on the news that was quite disturbing is that her mom said that she's starting to receive taunting text messages surrounding her daughter's disappearance. And I'm like, who in the world would be doing that? So we'll be exploring that as well. All right, you all, let's get started. We've got a lot to cover with this reading. All right, so we are now exploring the energy surrounding what may have happened to Ariana Taylor. Spirit, come to you for your divine prophecy, your divine grace, your divine insights, and most of all, your divine protection. We're looking at what may have happened to her. We're asking you and receiving what it is that you're willing to share with us. So please share with us what you're willing to share. All right, so we're looking at the energy surrounding what may have happened to Ariana Taylor, 23, and last seen late on Saturday, April 2nd. Okay, we're looking just to see, it's always interesting what Spirit ends up revealing, at least in my readings. Because sometimes with this particular part of the reading, it's like what Spirit wants to talk about who she is or what she may have encountered or dealt with, or, so it's always an interesting thing. So we got the moon, we got the spider, and we got the boot. Got the octopus. Okay. Oh my. Okay. Broom. So I'm going to show you guys actually, and now I'm going to zoom in so we can get a closer look as I do the reading. So we got the moon card. Okay. Spider. Boot. Octopus. Broom. And water. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put these here and put them like so. Okay. So let's talk about it here. The moon. The moon. Let me zoom in. Oh. Hate when I do that. Okay. So, we got the moon card. That's right here. The moon, number 14, is about dealing with a cycle of something, okay? It could mean facing some sort of lunacy, okay? You know, the lunacy, luna is the keyword, and then lunatic, lunacy. Dark emotions. A wayward soul. Now, we're going to find out more information on was this her wayward soul that we're dealing with, dark emotions that we're dealing with Ariana, or are we dealing with dark emotions with some other person that is in her life? So that's what we're talking about with the moon card. A lot of mysterious things going on, things that are going to come to light, that are going to emerge as the police, as her family starts to further investigate and see, okay, there's an underbelly here that Ariana may have been dealing with, okay? And she's 23 years old. It could be that she is just simply hanging out with the wrong crowd of wayward souls, okay? So then we have the spider card. The spider card is about strong and powerful female energies, okay? It's also, the spider card could mean that dealing with someone else, someone who could be poisonous, like the black widow spiders that I used to have to deal with in California. If you're not careful with the spider, and if you come too close to the spider, they will bite. And their bite will be poisonous, okay? Okay, so I'm starting to get some clues around the fact that this might be something external to her. I mean, yes, it could speak to her strong female, intuitiveness with this moon and spider card. It could be, but it also could be speaking to someone else outside of Ariana, okay? So then we have the boot card. The boot card is about travel, moving forward in some instances, preparing for action, and discipline, moving. moving. What is that about? What is that moving energy about? Now, we don't have something like the wheel, and what happened was her vehicle is the last piece of evidence, major evidence, that the police found. And we don't know if she was driving or if someone else had their foot on the pedal and was driving. I'm starting to pick up on the fact that there could be someone else involved, and the reason being is the boot and the octopus card, okay? All right, so the boot card we've got. Now we're going to talk about the octopus card. This card's key meanings is greed, an entanglement, multitasking, and high intelligence. Someone who's quite crafty, smart, vengeful. Strong female energies, vengeful. Wayward soul, entanglement, multiple tentacles involved. Could this be an entanglement in a relationship? Could this be a dangerous three-party situation that someone was like, oh no, we're not having this. This is a problem for me, and I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to bite. I'm going to poison with that spider card. Okay, we're going to see, because I have 8 questions that we're going to ask for the next part of the reading, so don't worry. We're going to get into it a bit deeper, but I find that interesting. And then we've got the broom card. Now, the broom card speaks to getting a situation in order, okay? Domestic duties, errands that someone might run, feeling a duty to have to go out and do something or address something or handle something or clean something up. It also could represent an erotic encounter. Hence why I said that the octopus card with this broom card is speaking to some sort of sexual entanglement. Her going back out, because that was what was reported in the news, is interesting to me. She was out with her friends earlier, and then she needed to go back out in her car and deal with something. What was that something? What was that something that she needed to, that it was so urgent that she needed to leave in the middle of the night to go back out and deal with? That's what that broom card speaks to as well. I have a duty. I have a call. I need to handle this situation. I need to clean this up. What is it that she's cleaning up? So then, finally, we have the water card. And I did a pre-reading before I started recording, just to sit with her, just to sit with Ariana and just have her communicate with me, just talk to me, share with me. I was getting a sense of her being the passenger in the vehicle, not the driver. Not the driver. Okay. Water. What does the water say? Water is indicative of literal water, a body of water. It also could just figuratively mean subconscious thoughts, mysterious feelings, not realizing that what she was trying to go clean up could lead to dealing with somebody's mysterious feelings, things that she was not aware of or privy to. Not realizing the depth of the situation or the depth of danger with this water card. It literally also could mean that she could be in the water. I know that they did do a water search at Deep River, which is near where the car was, and the canine unit. The canine unit came out and followed 2 tracks, one to the Deep River, and then one to a street. I actually have wrote it down because I thought that was interesting. Oh, my lighter fell. One track in an area along Clay Street north to 15th Avenue. So, of course, when I'm done with her reading, I always go back and look at the maps, kind of see what I'm intuitively picking up on. But for now, we're just going to go with here. But I'm feeling like Spirit is saying the water is key. And the canine unit, that's our dogs, that's the scientific element in all of this, was led to the water, led to Deep River. So just bear that in mind, folks. So we're going to now go on to part 2. Part 2 is going to delve in specific questions with the tarot and oracle, but this is what we're dealing with. that some sort of entanglement that's a sexual type of entanglement. She was not aware of the danger of this entanglement. She thought going to clean this up would be the smart and wise thing to do, but she was confronted with someone who's a wayward soul, dark energies, and a woman who is prepared to poison a situation or poison a person and to do what she needs to do to gain control of a situation. Now, of course, it could be Ariana in that mix, but I sense that this is someone external to her. All right, so we'll be right back. I'm going to take a picture of this and then move on to part 2. All right, so we're now at part 2 of Ariana's reading. I have some specific questions, Spirit. So the first one is, what caused or led to Ariana's vehicle being where it was? We know it was in some sort of accident. What led to that? What caused the accident? The chariot. Thanks, Spirit. Literally, the chariot is like a card that would represent a vehicle. Medical, doctor, black magic, bones. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ask for one more tarot card because I just want to get some confirmation on something. Spirit, energies around who was driving the vehicle. Was it her, Ariana, or was it someone else? 10 of Wands. See how there's two, so we got the actual vehicle and then her. Or it could be 2 parties in the vehicle. Chariot, movement, someone intentionally moving this vehicle, crashing this vehicle. I suspect that she actually needed medical care before the accident occurred. Okay, not because of the accident, but before. We got the doctor card. All right, we got black magic, dark energies. Okay, and I gotta say, I'm just gonna say this: black magic doesn't always necessarily mean terrible, or I don't want people to misconstrue that, or that is evil or this or that. But we're dealing with someone. Remember that spider card and the moon card? We're dealing with someone who wanted and desired to consume and control Ariana. So they were at the end of their road, end of the rope with her, end of the rope with a situation that had been enduring for a long period of time. They had been enduring something at least from last summer. So the chariot represents the time period of June 21st to July 20th. The 10 of Wands represents springtime. Wands represents the season of spring. Things started to become really an issue between her and some female. There's some sort of female influence, heavy female influence, that 10 weeks back, it started to become tense. And so I asked Spirit if she was driving the vehicle or not, and someone else was maneuvering the vehicle. Okay, that's what I'm picking up on here with this was the yak in the image, and then also these horses. Someone else was moving the vehicle, and they intentionally crashed, intentionally caused this accident, and Ariana was likely not driving at the time. With this doctor card, she needed medical care well before the accident took place. Okay, so we're gonna ask a bit more in a little bit about who may have been responsible. Black magic, dark energies coming at her, wishing her ill will. Someone else causing this. Sure, it could mean that she was engaging in black magic or dark manifestation. wishing ill will on someone else, but I'm sensing someone else was wishing ill will on her. Bones. This could mean literally stumbling on bones, her bones. It could mean there's bones, secrets that are going to be coming out and emerging 10 weeks ahead of. So Wands represents, just so you all know, Wands represents for me the season of spring and the timing of weeks. So it could be 10 weeks going backwards, 10 weeks going forward. And bones, her bones, secrets, it can mean actual bones, secrets of bones, what's like bones in the closet. It also could mean that something very harmful happened to her, causing her demise. Okay. Now, some would say with the Chariot and the Ten of Wands, it could mean that maybe the accident did cause the injuries, the grave injuries that needed medical attention. However, I want to remind you that the officers indicated that when they investigated the vehicle, yes, it was heavy damage to the vehicle, but not enough to be something that would cause the occupants of the vehicle injuries. I used to handle injury and fatality claims out of auto accidents, so I'm familiar with that and understand that, okay? That's my prior 20-year background career. Okay, that's what I did in the past. So I understand what the cops mean. This means that someone crashed the car to rid themselves of the vehicle with that Ten of Wands. Okay, so now we're moving on to question number 2. Energy spirits surrounding the 24 to 48 hours leading up to discovering of this vehicle. Or not the vehicle, but leading up to that night where, the vehicle. Okay, so we got 5 of Cups, King of Pentacles. Okay. What are the energy spirits surrounding the 24 to 48 hours leading up to that, to the witness seeing that accident? Okay. Health issues. Okay. 5 of Cups is about disappointments, letdowns in the area of love, heartbreak, really just, particularly in the 5 days leading up to this incident, up to the witness seeing that vehicle traveling 80 miles per hour, she was dealing with some strong level of disappointment and heartbreak, or dealing with someone that was feeling a lot of hurt, let down. It's a man. Remember I said there's an entanglement of some sort going on? There is some sort of level of entanglement with that octopus card. And health issues. What was that about? Beach. What was the 24 to 48 hours leading up to when the witness saw that? Hold on. I'm going to reshuffle. But health issues, con man, and beach. A smooth talker with this King of Pentacles. Making promises of a secure life, a loving life. But then in the end falling short with her or someone else, and someone else was not pleased with that. Health issues. Health issues could mean run the gamut from consuming something that causes you to have health issues, like an upset stomach, or consuming drugs that harm you, or someone causing health issues, or you having natural health issues. So the 24 to 48 hours to this whole situation happening, this is what she was filled with. Disappointments in love, disappointments, letdowns, someone saying one thing but doing another, promising one thing but not delivering. And she really had trust and faith with this King of Pentacles in someone to be there for her, to fulfill the promises that they said. But these oracle cards are speaking to, they didn't, and this 5 of Cups, they didn't fulfill their promises. In fact, they let her down in a way that really hurt her heart. Okay, it really hurt someone else as well. Someone else was like, okay, this is the trajectory that we're on, this is the direction that we're on, and I'm not okay with that. I ill will of wishing harm on her, trying to do something to her before this whole accident took place. Meaning maybe trying to give her something bad, like I'm picking up on drugs, bad drugs or something like that, that really just didn't, sit well with her. She needing to confront what was happening with this con man card. And then the beach card. That's interesting to me. The beach card could mean a couple of things. It could affirm the water card. It could affirm that, the 24 to 40 hours leading up to the witness seeing the car, that perhaps those deep emotions, those deep worries, those deep fears, those mysterious emotions and mysterious thoughts is something that she was really dealing with and confronting. Or it could speak to confirming about the deep river connection. But we'll continue on. We're going to continue on and see. All right, so now that we know that maybe something happened before the collision even occurred, what happened to Ariana before the accident? So what happened to her before the accident? 7 of Swords, the Emperor. Okay. What happened to her? Mother. Let me reshuffle. This card was trying to come up. Poison. Someone close to her. We got the uncle card. Mother card. Someone she felt really deeply connected to. Footprints. Okay, so I'm going to pull from this deck. What happened to her? What happened to Ariana before the accident? Because we know we're getting clues that something happened before the witness, like well before that collision occurred. Today for tomorrow. Okay, so let me share with you guys something. And I'm a little concerned about this, okay? I'm a little concerned. So, 7 of Swords is what we call the card of affairs. And what I mean by that is illicit affairs, or really doing things that are like behind someone's back, not really being on the up and up, and in whoever you're dealing with. And it usually, when this card comes up, is talking about someone who's willing to engage in an affair, or an affair actually happening, or some kind of cheating happening. So the 7 of Swords is speaking to that. It's confirming that there is this third party kind of element or energy to this relationship entanglement issue. The Emperor is speaking to, and I'm going to let you guys know something. So when I was sitting with her, the boy card from the Mildred Payne's card jumped. And so it's this Emperor to me is confirming that, yes, there's a strong female presence involved, but there's someone else. Multiple tentacles are responsible for this incident. And there's like someone who may even favor this person here, the Emperor, who really felt a need to control things, to see things, to clean things up, to make things right. And he may have dealt with this. He may have strategized and planned and plotted this whole thing of hurting her. Remember the poison card? I shuffled it back in, but the poison card was interesting to me. Giving her something that is dangerous to consume. If that didn't work, taking her out? Could this be a big brother to that female energy? Could it be an uncle? Could it be someone close? Or could the mother and the uncle card be speaking to the fact that Ariana felt close to the people who may have had something to do with her demise? And I'm saying this now, and demise doesn't necessarily mean that she's passed away, but her demise could mean that she is in grave danger. If she hasn't already crossed over and passed, she is in need of serious medical care. And it ain't because of the auto accident. It's because of someone close to her causing this. This someone who's involved is either a mother, doesn't necessarily mean her mother, or this could speak to the fact that because she's a mother, this is also the reason why something happened to her. The uncle card could just speak to the fact of, if you think this is someone who caused this to her that she may not have known, a stranger or sex trafficking or any of that, think again. This is someone who's close. This also could be someone who helped these people. There's multiple tentacles, multiple people involved in doing this, in causing the disappearance of Ariana. Footprints. Thankfully, they've left. There's evidence left. There could be social media evidence, footprints. There could be actual literal footprints. And it's curious to me. I wonder if the police noticed any footprints leaving the vehicle, following the accident, seeing where, I'm assuming with the canine unit, if they picked up on a scent, or her scent, then they must have picked up on the fact that there's footprints, because you got to get out of the vehicle. You have to walk to either the river or to Clay Street or what have you. You got to move there. And it's, in this area now, granted, if it's like twigs and things like that, you may not be able to see actual footprints, but there could be evidence. And it may be that, is it hers or is it someone else? And I'm suspecting they're going to find that someone else was driving the vehicle, likely a male, but influenced by a woman. Okay, today for tomorrow. It's almost like Spirit is saying, had Ariana chose to deal with this situation the next day or the day after, when heads were cool, where people weren't feeling so high-headed about the situation, that it would have been a different outcome. Maybe she would have not felt the need to go and confront someone and deal with someone about things, or maybe they would have just, blew her off, or it just would have worked out. But because of the fact that she needed to deal with this today, as opposed to tomorrow or the next day, it caused them to have to go ahead and implement the plan that someone, a ringleader, had, with this Emperor card, had orchestrated, strategized. And it all ties to some sort of entanglement, some sort of relationship that was outside of another relationship. And that poison card speaks to me because it's like, I think she could have been really mad about something related to that, consuming something that was harmful to her. Now, that could be the relationship. That could also speak to she's consuming something that is harmful to her in terms of the relationship, not necessarily that she took drugs or she consumed something that was poisonous, but it could be that she consumed a relationship that was definitely poisonous, harmful. It also could be, and I know the father of her child, I'm assuming, has an alibi, right? Because he had the child at the time of the incident, according to the news article I read. So if that's the case, then he probably didn't have anything to do with it. But of course, we can't rule out anything. This is all alleged, but we can't rule out anything. The mother card came up. It could mean that a mother is involved, or it could mean that she is harmed as a result or involved in the situation as a result of being a mother. Okay, moving on to the next question. So now we're just going to ask Spirit, what happened following this accident? Two of Swords in reverse. What happened following the accident? Hired help. Yeah, multiple people involved. Someone, human trafficking. Now that's interesting. Signs. What happened to her after the accident? Or someone tied her up, bound her. They were also not quite sure of what to do with her, with the Two of Swords in reverse. They weren't, I mean, they were really, concerned. Colorless angel. So hired help, someone taking on the charge to deal with her, to do something with her. They weren't quite sure of what to do with her, but they knew they needed to do something with this hired help card.